Maggots, Michael.
I love you.
I know.
I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chum some of this shit.
What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
Hell is this?
This is for Brody.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
It's live.
It's showtime. We're
Live.
live. Hi, everyone. And welcome to the Nerdy of Nerds podcast. It's a nerdy podcast and it's hosted by Northern Nerds. I am one of your hosts, Sam.
And I am the other host, Paul. And just to test out for the group, everyone in the chat as well, please tell me I don't sound like a demon.
I mean, it would be nice.
I'm a demon. But yes, just because OBS decides it likes to mess with my microphone from time to time, even though I test it and test it and test it, but now it's made us super, super paranoid. So if anyone's listening, please tell us I sound normal. But yes.
Right, so Paul's like...
Your mother sucks cocks in hell. But yes, but anyway.
Not even 5 minutes in. And this is going to be a hell of an episode, so
yes,
that was a good start.
But yes, just to introduce them as well. If you haven't already noticed, we have two beautiful, sexual divas of human beings with us tonight. We've got the shining example of humanity that is the lovely Jo. And we've got...
Don't call it a comeback, I never left.
After the... that's what I was actually... After the rant that was last week, and hopefully we will talk about Titanic a little bit more later, we could not let him go. He's just been sitting there in his little room waiting for us to return. Also, Sonia's alive, so it's always good to see her in the chat.
Sonia.
We have the giant... Well, he's not going to... Well, he is the largest person that's been on this podcast for now.
That'll get taken away from me soon.
Oh, hints. I like it.
Well, we have already announced it, so it's fine.
Oh well.
But he is very sneezy though, bless him. And
I'm not very well. I'm not well.
No. So everyone in the chat, give Adam a lot of love, a lot of caring, and like I say, we're not going to ask him to take his top off tonight because he is very poorly. So
I'm a bit warm though. It might happen.
Might happen. Just if we get the view count over 30, we'll take his top off. That's just saying. It's not going to happen tonight. Don't worry.
I feel before we get into anything, I should be getting the disclaimer out the way straight away. Yeah, first thing. So everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. If you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on our Facebook page, our Discord page, or the comments section, where we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions are wrong. We can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behavior out of nerdism.
Very well done.
This message was brought to you by Sam and her PJs.
So the question
I didn't get the PJs memo.
I am not. Honestly, I can't move. My legs are stiff as anything. I learned this weekend I can't walk for shit, so I'm not getting changed, guys. I'm staying in my PJs.
Nah, I love the energy. For audio listeners, Sam's in our PJs.
Question is she
wearing very stylish PJs?
Very stylish.
It's very Hugh Hefner-esque, isn't it? So yes.
Yeah. Kind of look I'm going for.
Sammy is going to be the Hugh Hefner of the Nerdy Up North team now. She'll be
with her very greasy hair and really shit makeup job. She is doing one for the team.
So, wow, put yourself down some more, why don't you? Wow.
I forget the positivity train is in tonight, so I've got to knock that one up.
To be fair though, if Sammy's mom's watching, I hope you had a nice time in Paris, Sammy's mom. Just saying, you look good in them pictures. Just sit.
we did learn this weekend she has a very Chandler Bing smile.
Oh.
When you say smile, she kind of like panics and just goes poor mum. Hi mum. She's probably not watching at all. She's probably fast asleep, bless her.
But yes.
But
But yes,
Awesome.
we're not going to do the. I'm going to stop Sammy in the tracks a little bit, just cause.
Don't you dare!
Just because, for the listeners of the podcast, for you special people out there, we do have a special episode that's going to be coming out on Tuesday, where we will be discussing the amazing X-Men 97 TV show. So before we can get into it and spoil it anymore, I'm going to put a block on it and say, no chat about this. And to be fair,
no chat.
We've got 26 fucking seasons to talk about in this show.
That is really true. So maybe we should just crack on with the South Park.
The South Park.
The French
right.
came back with us.
You know what though? I anticipated being asked what I've been watching this week, and I was like, I've been on 3 of the past 4 weeks.
Yeah,
I need to actually watch something new so I can say something.
Go on, then, Joe.
Way to start a new series for you guys.
I did. Well, I kind of did too. Right. So, Joe, what you been watching?
Right. Well, let you enjoy.
I started watching finally Ted Lasso.
Right. Oh,
it is phenomenal. I was like, I need to watch a couple episodes of this just so I've got something to talk about, and then I'll watch the whole fucking first season. I was just like, this is amazing. This is incredible.
It's unreal.
Yes.
The writing in it's fantastic.
Sorry to drag you back onto that segment every week.
I know it's fine because I've started Young Sheldon. And I absolutely fucking love it.
My daughter's just started that today. She's like obsessed with it already. Like,
see, I couldn't get away with it.
I love it. Watching the evolution of Sheldon, like how he got to say Bazinga is because he decided that he wanted to pull practical jokes on people, and the sign on this wall that had in the joke shop said, "If you want to get someone, get them with a Bazinga." And seeing him just seeing the evolution of him and everything, I love it. Absolutely love it. The cast are brilliant.
No, it's one of them things. It's one of them ones because I'm a big fan of the Big Bang Theory. I know it gets a lot of shit from certain corners of the internet because you're the dicks.
You are.
But it's one of the ones I just couldn't get away with. I think it probably wasn't for me type thing. Like I say, I was happy with what I got with the Big Bang. I didn't need the younger one, but no, I can understand why people like it though. The cast is actually brilliant.
Yeah,
I love the guy who plays Sheldon's dad. He's just so
Spundy.
Yeah.
Spundy.
Yes, Ponderosa. As Sammy will lead back to everything we can do to be everything. It's like
always,
everything is an Always Sunny reference. That's it.
Always managed to get a background. Always Sunny. I think I've done it for the last 4 weeks or something. Even in Monsters, I still managed to get a reference in there.
So I do it with everyday life. Just like everything I'm doing, it's just like, that's happening.
Frank would have done this.
Now, since Joe dragged the segment back, I'll give 2 quick reviews. I've watched 2 films yesterday. Imaginary shit. Abigail.
What's that?
Good.
What's Imaginary?
It's about the imaginary teddy bear.
Oh, right, I've got you. Yeah,
it doesn't sound great. I'll be honest with you. I'm not hooked.
Well, it started off like really creepy and good, like little girl talking, or like a bear that moves slightly, and you think, all right. Then it morphs into like say a mixture of The Labyrinth and Coraline, and it's like, is this meant to be funny or scary? It's neither. But yeah, but
so Paul, do you give it 1 pork chimp out of a 5?
It wouldn't even get a pork chimp. I wouldn't even slap it with a pork chimp. But yeah, but Abigail, which is a good. If you haven't seen it, it's about a vampire ballerina, which is just fucking.
Oh yeah, I kept seeing trailers for that, but they were in Spanish, and I was like, I kind of understand what's going on.
It's very much a vampire version of Usual Suspects.
So
what?
Yeah, that's all I can say. It's like it's very but the guy in it, he's British. He has a very weird Queen's accent that does very put you off a lot. But it's the Beast out of Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, it's Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens, that's the one.
It's he's Matthew and no, Dan Stevens not Welsh, I don't think.
Possibly. It sounds Stevens could be a Welsh name.
What was that Xavier program?
Oh,
it was
Legion. Legion, that was the one.
Legion, he was in Legion, and he's also Matthew in Downton Abbey.
Right. Oh God, I'm not talking about Downton Abbey again.
Downton Abbey 3 has been announced.
I'm sick of hearing about Bridgerton this weekend, so we'll move past that. Yeah.
Oh, that's all I saw in Paris was posters for Bridgerton, and the title for all it's just Bridgerton in French. It's really long.
All right.
Really long.
But guys,
Guys,
the Coon says we need to talk about South Park. The Coon.
I'm excited. I apologize to any audio listeners if I hurt your ears in advance with me singing, because I feel like there's going to be a lot.
And
I hope so.
And to add to Sammy's disclaimer as well, because Joe did ask a very serious question before, like, is there anything off limits in this conversation? Because South Park goes there. Nope, there is not going to be any off limits. We are not going to try and offend anyone, but we are going to be talking about the show as its whole. We're not going to pull any punches, because let's be honest, the show fucking doesn't. So why should we?
Yeah.
No, and that's right.
We don't have good lawyers, I think is the answer to that.
Yeah, but I feel like with this show, you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't have a conversation about South Park and go in and go, oh, I am so shocked. I am disgusted.
Yes.
Like,
no one here South Park is... Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, if you're a South Park fan, like, you know what to expect.
No one goes, what do you mean it's controversial? I didn't know that. What are you talking about?
But yes, so...
I was going to say something else, and then I was like, no, I'll stop.
But to ask the age-old question as well, there's been 26 seasons of this. This debuted in 1997, so get the facts out of the way. Has this, like, because with many shows, like it's like we asked the question when we done the Simpsons episode, has South Park now overstayed its welcome? Are we?
Oh, what a good question!
That is a good question. I'm going to jump in and say no straight off the bat.
I am going to agree. I am going to fully agree with you, Joe. No.
Right. What about you, Adam?
I'll give a reason for it, but let's see what
I will also, but I'll let Adam say
I must admit, I haven't watched any of the newest seasons. I think the last ones I watched was about like season 21, maybe.
Yeah.
That's still a lot, though, Adam.
Yeah. So I've getting a lot out of it, so I'm going to say no, it hasn't either, because I've getting a lot of years out of it. So
yeah. I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you as well. Unlike The Simpsons, it always does come up with a kind of a new approach or a new idea. Where
it goes with the times.
Yeah.
So you know where you with a season, like for example, the last one I probably watched was the Trump one, and you know where you are in that time period. So it's kind of like a timeline, really, like kind of giving you a timeline of, I guess, our pop culture references, our pop culture history. Like I don't feel like people like of my nephew's ages who are like 19 to 21 would like get the earlier stuff, but they would certainly get the more recent stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, like say, when it comes to South Park, and when it'll always get the comparisons with, like, say, The Simpsons, Family Guy, and stuff like that, where it, as you said, it moves with the times, it plays on the times, it jokes about the times. Where, again, I'm not shitting on The Simpsons, but I am in the same way. It kind of goes around the same loop. There's only so many times you can have Bart say "I carumba" and be like the naughty boy, and
don't have a cow, man.
Yeah. It's kind of like loses the kind of the glossiness or the new factor where, like as you said with South Park, they'll focus on a certain thing, and if they think, oh, this joke's old now, they'll kill off the joke and they'll move on to a different joke. I think like the later seasons, they took the focus away from the boys, and then it was more focused on Randy, like Teggedy Farm, and stuff like that. So remember berries. But there's just so many, like, because when you think about it as well, there's just a rich history. And I remember when this first got advertised, like in the UK, it was like, this is going to be the most controversial TV show in the world. It was shown on like 11 o'clock or like 10:30, 11 o'clock on Channel 4.
Channel 4,
yes. So it was kind of like the big boys. This is before Channel 5 and stuff like that. So they kind of give you that like risky element. You almost felt like you were a naughty boy, staying up and watching this show because let's be honest, when we were younger as well, a lot of the jokes kind of went over your head. Like they were like there.
Yeah, they didn't land.
No. But when you watch it back now, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking so funny. Earlier stuff's hilarious. I do remember not watching it, but like watching it on telly, but watching it at a friend's house, and I felt naughty. Like we shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. But I always remember her having the box sets on VHS.
Right.
VHS.
Yes.
VHS. I'm that old.
This is a show I used to have on VHS. I used to have Simpsons VHSs as well.
Yeah.
I still love
me
that.
too.
It took us a long time to get rid of them as well. I think I threw them out well into the 2000s.
Mate, I think I've still got them. I genuinely think I've still got them.
So what is your earliest memory of an episode? Like, I know, like, there's favourite episode and stuff. What's your earliest, like, because there's two things I remember back when I first watched it. I'll be interested to know, like, your first, like, memories. Like, without looking on Google, I'm watching you guys. I can see the lights on your face.
I am absolutely, and I can describe the episode, but I can't tell you which season it's in.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'm not expecting that. Just descriptions will be fine.
So, Adam, do you want to go? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll go first. My first memory of South Park was when they did the special on, like, was it Channel 4?
Mm-hmm.
When it was the opening night in the UK sort of thing for South Park being on. So there was the Terrence and Phillip special.
Right.
And then there was, like, the first, like, 4 or 5 episodes from season 1.
Right, okay, yeah.
So this will have been, like, back in 1998 or something like that.
Yeah, I think because it came out in America first, yeah. So,
so the first episode I remember seeing was the Terrence and Phillip, Not Without My Anus.
Right.
Mine also is season 2.
Right.
Which was, I think, when it started airing on Channel 4, because that Friday night lineup, you had Friends on at 9, and you had they always had something in the sitcom slot at 9:30, and then South Park was on a bit later. My parents would always go out on a Friday night to go to the quiz, or they go to something, just down the pub. And me and Sonia would be Sonia would be babysitting, but we'd watch South Park after we watched Friends. So yeah, like season 2, there's a lot of episodes I remember sitting in the living room in the house I lived at before we moved in, like, 2000, and watch this. So I would have been definitely under 10 and watching South Park.
Sonia, if you're watching, we're judging you, Sonia.
That's bad babysitting, Sonia.
That's bad babysitting.
Also, Joe, is that a brown egg cup?
Brown egg.
Lee's brown egg.
Brown eggs. Oh, Joe.
This. Oh, right. Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah, absolutely. Well, I actually feel like I remember the first episode with the probing.
Yes.
But I don't know if that's triggered because of my love of Stick of Truth.
Right.
I love that video game. So I don't know if the memory is triggered because when you go on the spaceship and it's very similar to the first episode, and I'm like, is that where I'm coming from? But I remember the first episode very clearly.
Sorry, Sonia just saying Friday night was Fort Boyard night as well, which it absolutely was. That was on Channel 5, I think.
Channel 5, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so the two memories I can remember, because the advert campaign was always hilarious because it focused a lot on George Clooney being the first big name guest as the gear dog. So they had, like, big name guests, and they used to take the piss. So George Clooney actually voiced the gear dog. I've forgotten what the dog was called now.
What a fucking sport, man! That's amazing.
But as you said, the anal probe one was just, I think, because with us being an X-Files fan as well, everything that they did, it was kind of like just like a riff or a piss take. Because I think at the time X-Files were absolutely huge, so it was kind of like, that's the introduction, and then we got to meet this most hideous, and he doesn't get any redeeming qualities at all. I don't care what people say. Eric Cartman is the most odious TV character out there, even worse than Frank from Only Sunny. He has no redeeming qualities at all, like when you watch that character. But yeah,
hilarious though.
But I can remember watching back, and them are the two things I remember watching. And if I might be wrong, because I know we were mentioning stuff that was on the thing, this followed Eurotrash. I'm sure of it.
Of course it did. Of course it did. Of course. Why aren't we doing an episode on Eurotrash as well? Like, I fucking love that series.
That's
what you've been the Ferrari.
You've just been to France as well, haven't you? So...
I know.
I do think we would be taken off air if we did actually mention. Let's not talk about like an episode of Eurotrash. I was like, no, you cannot talk about this at all. But then we were introduced like to the running gag for most of like the early seasons. Oh my God, you killed Kenny, you bastards! And the hilarity that was when you watched it and trying to find out different ways that they would kill off Kenny each week, was just that was one of the main reasons that you continued to watch. And throughout them seasons, you got introduced to some amazing characters as well, like Mr. Garrison and Mr. Hat. Like his evolution throughout the seasons is just fucking amazing compared to and again, that's why I think this show as well stands up a little bit better in time to The Simpsons and stuff, because characters actually move forward, like not the main kids, but the main characters behind the scenes type thing.
If I can.
Sorry, go on, Sammy.
No, go on, Joe. No, Joe, you were talking first.
I was going to say, the Simpsons is good at building these characters and building this environment, this world, but their focus was all about the family dynamic. It was never about what's going on in the world. And South Park, at its core, is also a satirical show that pokes fun at people and places and events and things that are going on currently, which is why it's still current. Whereas The Simpsons ran out of material to talk about the family dynamic, and now all they can do is talk pop culture, which doesn't really land. It doesn't really fit their show.
True.
It just feels like they've done something that's already been done before. When South Park has been in that category throughout the start, going from start to now. I'm gonna get me death thing out the way with. Can't have an episode without me referring to death. The mom, Kyle's mom. This is the original voice actress for that died very early on, and Trey Parker was so devastated by it that he almost canned the character completely. Until I don't know what the turnaround was, but I don't know if he actually does a voice or they found someone else very similar. But he was crushed by that. That we nearly didn't have a Kyle's mom character at all throughout the whole series. She would have just gone because he was devastated. But has anyone actually watched the making of South Park and how they do an episode? Just one single episode?
Not for a long time. I think there was an extra. I think it was an extras on a DVD type thing.
I feel like it was, because when you look at it on YouTube, that's what the kind of imagery you get from it. So it's 1 week where the majority of the time is spent in the writer's room. One of the writers is Bill Hader.
Right.
Yeah.
And has been since the start, which is fucking mind-blowing that he's also a voice actor in it as well. Not big parts, but miniature parts. And it's majority spent in a writer's room to then they eventually get down to the drawing of it, because they are just reusing stencils. It's not anything fresh, they have to do new. They can just reuse stuff. And then the voice work comes in, and it's this chaotic period of 1 week to do an episode. And it was fucking mind-blowing to watch them, especially in the writer's room, because there's parts of it where they kind of talk for laughing at themselves.
I know.
I love that process,
because I think Jake said in the chat earlier as well, because they've always been that chaotic type of process and stuff, to the point where as I said, Matt Stone and Trey Parker actually hated making South Park for a while. So that they actually wanted to full on stop, because because with a show like this, it's got to be fun. That's where say anything we do, it's got to be fun. It stopped being fun for them for quite a while. So we almost there were plans. I could be wrong. So again, don't. This is not gospel, but I think it was quite not long after they did the movie, because I think the movie process to do South Park the movie that killed a lot of joy for them, because making a TV show, as you said, in that chaotic way, where the movie, that must have been hard, because they've never tried to do a movie afterwards since then, have they?
No.
They've done a few specials, but
nothing to the degree of the movie. Well, this is that period of time. Was that the period? I'm trying to think. When did the movie come out?
2000,
99.
99.
Was that their fiasco at the MTV Awards when they went? Was it MTV?
No, it was the Oscars. It was the Oscars. Yeah,
where they were on acid and in dresses.
Yes,
I fucking love it.
Yes. Have you watched the footage back of them two, knowing that they're on acid? You're like, oh my god, they are off their tits.
To be fair, I think that would be us lot if we won a podcast award.
I would drop
absolutely love that they just don't acknowledge it. People are like, what are you trying to do here? And they're just like, it's such a beautiful night, isn't it? It's such a lovely event.
It's just a lovely
Look
moment.
at my gown. And everyone's wondering why they're not asking who they're wearing. Because that's what the Oscars on the red carpet is like, who you wearing? And it's like, why are you not interested in my gown? Like, look at it. It's spectacular.
Oh, but because I don't think they get the credit for what they do as well, because people look at them as just like two frat boys acting like idiots and stuff, but they are a lot smarter than they look. I know.
Yeah.
Take away Orgasmo, because again I can't even know.
It's been mentioned
fantastic movie. You've made the mistake of bringing on someone who likes Orgasmo. Yeah. I will defend this movie. It's a good movie. It's funny. I don't want to learn hamster style anymore.
No.
I mean, I'm glad you got something out of it.
Yeah, I still can't. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. No, never.
I can't believe it's even part of our
repertoire
in our catalogue. I cannot believe it's sitting in there.
It did birth the legend, though. It birthed the legend that is Dildo Donna.
That is true, and that will forever be the one thing that comes out of that
this week.
Amazing. I do like. I mean, I love that movie. Basketball. Am I saying that right?
Basketball is brilliant. I think basketball is such an underrated funny film.
Steve Barry.
Yeah. It's such a wholesome but not wholesome movie at the same time. I think that's how
it has its moments, but then while it's having its moments, you've got somebody with a penis in a shadow.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you're having those lovely wholesome moments where you're like, oh, look at the stories all coming together, and then you see a penis in the shadow.
Caught on tape.
But going back to the show as well, because as we said, we've had many years of different aspects, different views. One thing I will love South Park for is their basically their stance on what they take the piss out of. Like, they say nothing is off limits. Like, everything is available, because that's why I think they get away with being as offensive, or you can take offense of a lot of the stuff, is because they're not scared to take the piss out of literally anything. They say if you want to take the piss out of Gears, they'll take the piss out of Gears. If they want to take out racial hatred, they'll take the piss out of it. It's just simply because people say, oh, that's off limits. They'll go, why? It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be hurtful. It's not done in an angry or violent way.
No. What they're doing is they're poking fun at the people who are.
Yeah.
It's not the action itself. It's poking fun at anyone who is racist or who is homophobic.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna poke fun at you, not them, because that's normal. This is not, you know what I mean? Like normal life, live a normal life. And I love that about them. Yeah. I know one character actor didn't love that about them.
Let's talk about that.
So, let's talk about it.
We're going to mention Isaac Hayes and Scientology.
Yes, we'll get into it straight away.
But off the bat.
No, we might as well get in there hard.
I am going to drop a bomb on this. Should we talk about what happened first?
Yes.
Before I go into the rabbit hole that I've been down today.
Oh,
wow. Okay. So go on. You give it, Joe. You know it.
So South Park ran an episode called "In a Closet," where Tom Cruise,
brilliant
where Stan ends up talking to the Scientologists. He becomes one of their the prophet, the reincarnation of L. Ron Hubbard.
Yes,
and they're like, the new prophet is here. Tom Cruise comes to his house and says, "Am I a good actor?" And Stan slights him, so he hides in his closet. And then they make Stan write a new scripture. And during the episode, they find out that basically it's not to enlighten people, it's to scam them. And Stan takes offense at that and comes out and says, "You're all a bunch of assholes and go home and do something better with your lives." Isaac Hayes was a Scientologist.
Yes.
And as a result, left the show.
But not just left the show, he kicked up a big fuss and said, "You cannot take the piss out of my faith." And
this is religious intolerance.
Yes, that was the whole thing.
It's all right. It's all right to take the piss out of Christianity, out of Judaism,
Buddhism.
You fucking name it. But oh my God, you dare talk about Scientology? Then you are totally in the wrong. Completely hypocritical. and he is dead. But completely.
He's not here to defend himself.
That's two. Right, how many more are you going to get into this episode?
Oh,
We'll try a third. We'll try a third in a bit. But someone in the chat has actually asked a really good question. Sam Higdon. Hi, Sam. If South Park was coming out today, would it be successful?
Ooh.
It depends on how it started. I think if it started the same way, probably not as much, because it was very much of the 90s and like the type of humor and stuff like that, or just the look. People now, they want everything to look shiny and beautiful, like Bob's Burgers, Archer. That's like the quality of animation that we do get, where South Park wasn't about the animation, it was about the characters and like the dialogue and the jokes and stuff. So it probably would do well as an internet cartoon.
Yeah.
And start off there, or Cartoon Network, like with Robot Chicken and stuff, doing like things like that. I think there's a place for it, but it would have to start off looking like the South Park we have now, not like the South Park we do have.
Polished.
Yeah.
I do generally think it might struggle, because the audience of today is not the audience of the 90s. We are completely desensitized. We are completely we get the joke, and not a lot of people of the generation now kind of get the joke, and I feel like it wouldn't land.
South Park was actually it's a redundant question. South Park was instrumental in desensitizing us. There is an entire
that is so true.
Yeah. I think there's an episode in season. I've got a note here somewhere in season 5. Yeah, season 5. At the same time on US television, Chicago Hope was the first TV show to broadcast the word shit,
right?
Uncensored in a TV show. In South Park, they go to the like Randy and his mates go to the pub to watch the word shit be broadcast on TV for the first time. In that episode of South Park, they say shit 162 times, uncensored. And shit! Every time they do it, they have a counter in the corner that says, we've said shit once, we've said shit 10 times, 162. And it was like, let's not make a big deal about saying shit. Let's say it so much that it's irrelevant. It's not it's not a big thing. We've taken the power out of the word shit. And I like, that changes television. That pushes it forwards, whether it's for better or worse, but it absolutely changes this. You go, could they make it now? And you go, well, what TV shows made it okay to say shit? What changed it?
Yeah.
No, it's an interesting way of looking at it as well. Yeah, because as you said, but coming
Joe
off
is on it tonight, mind. Is this what happens when you have him on 2 weeks in a row?
Coming back to that point as well, though, because as you said, because South Park desensitized us, so if we didn't like have South Park then, would we have like shows like Family Guy or Archer or like kind of like, or even like Rick and Morty type thing? Would we have that type of humor or levels where people are pushing boundaries of, let's be honest, taste and what like they can get through the censors at times?
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to say because of how long it's been going. The starting points for them, would they have even carried the same way that South Park did? I don't know how to answer that, really.
Well, I mean, that's a hard one. Family Guy was 2 years after South Park, wasn't it? That was like 99, sort of 2000, wasn't it? I don't know whether like they'll have like copied off them directly, but maybe he's like Seth. What's his name?
Seth MacFarlane.
That's his name. I was going to say Seth MacFarlane. I'm like, is that that's something else? But no, it's him. He must have taken some ideas of South Park.
Has to have, it's got to be
out there in that sort of offensive way, but charming at the same time.
He's not overly offensive. Didn't Family Guy come off the back of his and I can't believe this is the first time we've actually mentioned this on a podcast, 9/11 incident? Because it kind of like changed his whole life. He was meant to be on one of the planes. He just got drunk the night before and was hungover, and that kind of like sparked his whole shit. I've been given a second chance. I'm gonna go and do this, and I'm sure Family Guy is off the back of that whole thing. Yeah, he was meant to be on the one that went into the second tower, and he was fucked the night before, and I'm sure that's where it all spans from. South Park didn't, obviously.
No. I'll be interested to know, like, I know, like, on one of the, like, say, making of DVDs and stuff that you can get, it's they go into, like, how they came up with the ideas and stuff like that. So I can't remember it now, I'll be honest. I wish I did go back and watch it back, but I tried watching quite a few episodes of South Park this week. And when you realise the sheer length and breadth of, like, where this show comes from and where it goes, because like some of my favorite episodes, like, is Imagination Land, and I was like, oh great,
that's one of mine as well.
I'll go back to watch, like, say that 3-episode special, and when you realize, because to me that's like, it feels like it's new episodes. That's like season 11 or 12, I think.
Yeah.
So it's,
I think that's like half the lifespan of
half
the show.
It's like fuck. If you want to go back and watch South Park, it is on Paramount Plus. If you want to give us a sponsorship, Paramount Plus. But yes.
Oh, sorry, I zoned out there. Let's do that again.
But yes. Give us freebies. Yeah. But yeah. But if we go back to like individual episodes and stuff, like the early stuff looks a lot more different. It looks a lot more darker. Looks like
it's gritty, isn't it? It's kind of gritty.
And now the newer stuff is all bright and shiny and like looks brand new and looks lovely to watch and easy to watch and stuff. But they kind of capitalize on that with certain things, and where previously, if you like the first season, like the first couple of seasons was like all individual episodes. There was no arcs. It was kind of just like a day in South Park, to the point now where they've got like full season arcs, like Mr. Garrison going to be like the new president of the United States, and going full fucking Donald Orange Face Trump cunt. But yes.
Oh my gosh! But do you not think that's easier for them, knowing what we've seen on that making of a South Park episode? Do you not think it's like easier for them to like map out a whole season?
Oh, 100%.
Not just an individual episode. Like, this is what we're doing the whole season. But my favorite is the fantasy game they play. You're gonna have to forgive us. I'm not very good with South Park and the names of things. But the fantasy thing they do,
is that the
Stick of Truth?
So it's basically like when they go all Lord of the Rings. Because there's one episode where which is absolutely brilliant, like similar to what you've just said. I don't know if it's the first time they do Lord of the Rings, but it is the best portrait of the Lord of the Rings is when they get the porno. And it's like Backdoor Sluts 9 or something, I think the porno's called. But like basically the premise is they've been tasked to take over the video or DVD of Lord of the Rings for Butters to watch with his is it Butters or Tweak?
It'd be Butters.
Butters to watch.
He'll get in shit for it.
Butters to watch, and his parents give it to Butters and go, "Oh, just take it downstairs. You watch it." And he's like sitting downstairs, going, "This is the best movie ever," and like getting obsessed with it. And then the Randy and I can't remember his wife's name now. Sharon realize that like they've mixed up the DVDs, so they send the kids to go and get the DVD back because they're cowards, basically. And they go in, take the DVD off Butters, and then Butters turns into basically Gollum. He's like, "My precious, I must have my precious." And the hunt, and then it becomes like the fourth graders become like ring wraiths, where they find out that they've got them.
Amazing.
And they send basically Blessed Token into, because they're saying, "Why is everyone after this DVD? What's so special about it?" So Token goes, "I'll be the one. I'll go and watch it." And he goes in, watches, and he comes out and he goes, "I don't want to play this anymore. I don't know what I've just watched." And it's like, this is just I'm out. But like as a Lord of the Rings reference and as a Lord of the Rings, not a Lord of the Rings fan, I do think this is the best representation of Lord of the Rings that has ever been made.
I love the high end fantasy that they do in this, especially with obviously the Stick of Truth and what was the video game one where they end up playing like something like Warcraft and they get absolutely obsessed with it.
And there's the guy
Love and Warcraft.
Have you seen the cosplay come out of that? It's fucking fantastic, man. It is brilliant. I love them episodes, not because obviously I love high fantasy stuff, but I love the fact that it all comes back to Stick of Truth. I have in my head right now the music from Stick of Truth that's played throughout the whole thing. I fucking love that game so much.
I actually haven't played any of the new video games. I played the old ones that came out.
Which one were you through? There was an N64 one, wasn't there?
Yeah, you threw.
Really, I didn't know that.
It was the town was taken over by turkeys. Because you remember the Thanksgiving special where they'd done a Franken turkey where all the turkeys turned into zombies and attacked South Park, and Mephisto was like part of it with his little clone person, and they're like, "Oh no, the turkeys are king." The 64 game was based on that, where you had to run around South Park.
It's like a first-person shooter, but then they also had Chef's Love Shack, which was more like a mini game, quiz game, which me and Sonia always used to play, but she'd always beat us because
it's Sonia.
I don't even know
because it's Sonia. Because
Sonia. Sonia is the game's queen.
And then there was South Park Rally, which I never played, but I was just aware of it and never saw it. Never saw it in a shop. Would have loved to play it, but
I remember when Stick of Truth came out, and I don't like the second one. Because they changed the format. The change. I mean, don't get us wrong. I was so excited for it because obviously with how good Stick of Truth was, but they changed the format of the fighting style. Oh, look at him. And Ant was like, I know, but that's how
things move forward.
Play with like RPGs and stuff, and I'm like, well, I want to go back to the simpler version of how you do it with just pressing buttons. And my favorite character, and that's Butters. I absolutely love fighting with Butters.
But talking about the games though, because I know. I did a random stream a month ago. Becca's just reminded us in the chat where I was just playing. I've got a dodgy stick where you play on all the emulators and stuff, and I played actually the N64 South Park game.
Oh, kidding!
The controls is fucking horrible. I'll be honest with you. To be honest, anything on the 64 control was horrible. But sorry, Jake.
How dare you? You should be apologising to me as well.
Sorry, Adam.
I would like to say there was in the options for that game there were two controller layouts and they were both puns on other N64 games.
Right.
You could have the GoldenEye controller layout and the joke was Brown Eye.
Right.
And the other one was Turok, but I can't remember what the joke was.
Oh, Turok was a good game. But
yes, I did enjoy that one as well.
There was two, but the premise was you had to kill the turkeys with snowballs. But
that you could piss on as well.
Yeah, that was a superpower. You pissed on it and you threw yellow snowballs at the turkeys.
Oh my god! It sounds. I can't remember that at all.
Oh, it's horrendous.
I was never an N64 person anyway. But
it did later come out on the PlayStation, I believe, when and the N64 was going down, and
really?
PlayStation stopped buying out all the old licenses. But but
I actually have. Oh, sorry, I have both the games of Stick of Truth on digital and on a CD, just in case.
They are good games. They are good games. I love the storyline, but when we get introduced, in the show side of things, when they do the Avengers, and can I just say, one of the best bad guys, I say as Butters as Professor Chaos. Is just fucking.
He's my favorite character in the game. I love him.
It's just it just goes in. But then when they do there's an episode where they do what the kids see themselves as, and Butters is this muscle bound monster bad guy. The Coon is this amazing, and they have these really cinematic comic book style fights, but then it goes back to cutscenes and it's just them two going
that's great, man.
Not what I thought you were gonna. Is this still the games we're talking about?
No, this is in the show. This was the show version.
Is this the episode Fun with Weapons?
Yes.
I think so, yes.
Okay, now. So it's gut wrenching just watching what they do to Butters in that episode. And he gets the ninja star in his eye.
No. Little dude, I've got a little statue of him, but I think he's in Ant's bedroom now because he doesn't quite go with my monster themed decor behind us.
Is that the episode where he's dressed up as the dog?
Yeah, yes. We can't take him to a human hospital. He's just in the dog pound crying. And then the vets come in to kill him, and then they're like, oh, he's gone. Well, let's just kill one of these other dogs then. It's
Don't do it.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, well, someone's just brought up as well something that was a fucking phenomenon over in the UK back in the 90s was fucking chocolate salty balls.
Suck on my chocolate salty balls. And you mouth and suck them.
mention my mum again on the podcast.
Hi, Mum.
Because I have a weekly video call with my mum in the UK.
Right.
And she said, "What are you doing this weekend?" I went, "Well, I'm on the Nerdy Up North podcast again." She went, "What are you talking about?" I went, "South Park," and she went, "Oh, suck on my child." I was like, as if my mum's just sang that.
Isn't it a weird feeling when your parents can reference pop culture to you?
Yeah.
My mother did it this weekend when we were in the War Museum. She just walked past us and went, "My uncle thought my uncle thought he was Saint Jerome," and I went, "Excuse me," and she went, "Saint Jerome," and it was for Ghostbusters fucking reference, and she managed to pull it out on. I was like, fucking hell, Mom, get in. It's a weird feeling when they can do that.
It's funny as well, like my dad, I've recently started going to the gym again and that, and my dad came around the other week and then he was like, "Beefcake."
Get in, Adam, start.
Oh, if anyone can get that sound clip of Adam doing that, please clip that, please.
I don't see Chris in the chat tonight.
I'm surprised that
he's on holiday.
He's on holiday.
I actually saw him while I was on holiday.
Yeah.
This French general thought it was fucking hilarious. Nobody else got the joke with us though.
But no, that was the best beefcake impression I've ever heard, Adam. So
thank you.
So well done there.
I'm surprised because I'm all early in that. I'm surprised I got it good. But if someone can clip that, if anyone clip that, please.
Yes, we'll need a clip of Adam saying beefcake.
I'll clip it.
I'll clip it good. But let's talk about the songs though, because there is some fucking bangers in these songs.
Go.
Yes. So as I've said, we've got Chocolate Salted Balls. That's like say one of the things. And then we've got Cowbell's bitch, biggest bitch in the whole world. Yeah, sorry.
Bitch to all the boys and girls.
Yes. The film version of the song's better.
Yeah. I think it's probably worth with the songs going with the movie as well, like kind of doing both of them because they're hand in hand, really.
Yeah, we can talk about the movie. I'm ready to talk about the movie.
I love the fucking film so much.
Then we've got, what was it? Uncle
It's
Fucker.
so good.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
You're a bona fide bastard, Uncle Fucker.
What was the other one with Brian Ton? What would Brian?
What would Brian Boitano do?
If he was here right now, he'd make a plan and he'd follow through because that's what Brian Boitano would do.
Did someone say Brian Dennehy?
No.
Fucking Brian Dennehy. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, sorry. Bye.
Saddam Hussein.
Oh God.
I can change.
Yeah, I can change. I can change. And James Hetfield
while rubbing him a dildo on his head and stuff.
Little boy, you're going in here.
Yes. That song is on my playlist. Actually, Brian Boitano is on my playlist as well. Along with it is a Team America song, but Team America's on there too because it's it's hellish. But it's the live version. I love them songs so much. But my favorite will always be Weird Gay Al.
Oh, I'm super.
I'm super.
Thanks for asking.
I couldn't be better with things considering I'm okay.
Well, I actually got in trouble because of Big Al when I was a kid. Well, not a kid, like a teenager.
Not a kid, not a teenager.
No kid, no.
40-year-old man.
When I was younger. It was when I was playing football on a Sunday, and my dad used to come and watch us play. And my dad's called Alan.
Yes.
So I had to stop calling him Big Al, and my dad didn't like it. So yeah, my dad didn't like that reference.
Your dad did not.
No, I can imagine it as well.
So then,
on a football field where it's like manly man.
So the whole football team used to reference him as Big Al as well, so he didn't like it.
You poor dad, man.
Oh, my dad's a dick.
I absolutely love these Matt Stone and Trey Parker for putting not just like musical numbers in their song, but good musical numbers. Like they're silly, they're so like stupid, but they're actually really fucking catchy.
Yeah,
and the lyrics are so memorable. Like I obviously watched the South Park movie this week. Put it on my Instagram story, and I put one of my favorite bits from the opening song, Mountain Town, where he's like, all those happy people stop to say hello, and then a guy walks past and goes, "Come on!" And then someone replied to my story with the next lyrics of the song, and I was like, because you just know. And I was like, I just had a chat with like one of my mates from college, and he was like, "It's one of my top 5 movies," and I was like, "Absolutely, it's just," and it's so memorable.
Yeah.
my favorite song from the movie is actually the medley they do, La Resistance.
Oh, right.
I think,
yes.
And when it started, I was like, this is my absolute favorite song in the whole movie. And I got goosebumps. I was like, holy shit.
What's going on?
I was like, this is not like a serious song, but it's, no, it's just, I absolutely love it. I love, and Seth MacFarlane can do this as well, just being able to make a good song and go, this is comedy, but I'm going to put it in my show because I just love Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah. The opening song, the actual South Park song, is by Primus.
Yes.
And they did their whole live concert that they did recently was with Primus on stage, and it was fucking amazing. But going into recent songs, we were in the when we were in the war bit and we're in the America propaganda and the Germany propaganda, I just kept going, Joe Biden stole our jobs.
God damn it, he took
our jobs.
So going back to the show as well. So trying to try and ticker.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Sorry.
By the end of it, it's just like a chicken, isn't it? It's just like
stole our jobs.
God damn it, the ticker jobs.
God damn it, you
It's somebody on the live show though. There's a little girl in the front audience, and Trey Parker goes over to her to get her to say it, and she won't say it at all. And he's like, "Come on, kid, like do it!" And then she just screams, "Joe Biden stole our jobs!" And he goes, "He took our fucking jobs."
But and that's the episode. That's the took our jobs episodes where they have the orgy and protest, isn't it? Like the massive orgy and the
It's so weird. There's so many different weird ones. What would you, again? This is going to be a hard one for you to answer, or a safe one for you to answer. What would you think is the most controversial part, like one that you can remember in the show?
One where you like just went, "Oh,
yeah,
they did that."
Well, it's probably not. I'll start. It's not really controversial, but the one that made us go ooh was when they had George Lucas and Steven Spielberg raping Indiana Jones, and they were hearing, "He's raping him! He's raping Indiana Jones!"
And he's like trying to crawl away.
It's kind of just like needlessly graphic, isn't it? What do you say about that?
You follow one from that?
No, you cannot follow one from that.
There's a line. There's something to be said about like ridiculing things that need to be ridiculed. You should be allowed to ridicule. And then I think there's sometimes they just do shit because they're like, this sounds like a good laugh, and there's no real point to it other than we didn't like Indiana Jones 4, the Crystal Skull.
Yes.
But I was reading about some of the stuff that's been banned and some of the stuff that doesn't broadcast, and Sky actually didn't broadcast a few episodes that I'd never even heard of, and I feel like I've seen every episode of South Park, but there's apparently an episode where they do sex education,
right?
And Mr. Garrison teaches kindergartners how to put a condom on with his mouth.
I remember that one. I remember saying that.
No knowledge of that. Apparently, it was banned in the US. Like Comedy Central didn't want to broadcast it, Sky didn't broadcast it, and the Australian broadcasters didn't do it anyway.
Right.
Didn't do it either. Australia also said that they didn't broadcast it because it was a threat to democracy. I was like, right? How does Mr. Garrison putting a condom on with his mouth threaten democracy?
To be fair, though, that is a life lesson that all people need to know.
This is Democracy Manifest.
Safe sex works, guys. Safe sex.
Absolutely. Use condoms.
Yes.
Sexual harassment.
Like said,
just to go back to the controversy, like that George Lucas joke, I don't think there was really a larger point to be made there.
No.
I think sometimes they just want to just take the piss out of something because they can, because they've got a platform where they can get away with it.
Yeah.
I think, does it get to the point where they're not shocking anymore? Like
and they have to push forwards to be more shocking.
Shocking to her, because I don't want to ever say that it's kind of like, here we go again with another, because whatever they do always has a point. Yes. These men are smart. It's not just for shock value. But is it get like, again?
go back to an episode I watched a few days ago, and like I say, if anyone's watching, you can see him going across the screen like little lemon winks on his little Mary March. The episode where Mr. Garrison finds out about a gay teacher being sacked for being gay or doing things gay, and got 25 million. So he's like, I want to pay out. So he gets Mr. Slave in, and he's he's demonstrating stuff in front of the kids, and then the kids getting like are going to reporting him, and the kids get sent to a concentration camp for being intolerant. But the things that he does in front of the kids, like he bends over Mr. Slave, pulls down his pants, puts a pipe up his arse, and inserts a gerbil where you see the sphincter close, and then the gerbil that turns into be Lemmy-Winks gets scared because it sees a dead body of another gerbil that died in Mr. Slave's arse.
Lemmy-Winks.
And then Adam done a perfect impression there. You get the ghosts of the other animals that's been inserted into Mr. Slave's ass, giving Lemmy-Winks the how to escape the torment that is basically coming his way. And
it's a little adventure.
And they do the same thing to Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
What do they have in that episode? Is it a horror-off or a?
I think so. Somewhere like that.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, it's been a long time since I've seen that one.
I'll have to rewatch that episode.
If I recall correctly, and this is deep South Park lore, Paris Hilton inserts a pineapple into herself, and then Mr. Slave takes off his pants and jumps onto her from a chair.
Yeah.
And just like absorbs her like a snake.
Yeah. I was going to say your Sonia, very northern of you, but Sonia. Yeah.
Tears for time to leave. Oh my God.
I was going to tears for time to leave.
Time to leave.
If we're going to go for controversial as well, I'm sorry, I know I'm jumping on all the episodes now. It's just one jumping me out. It was an early one. It was where Satan wanted to fight Jesus in a battle, and the proper piss take, and then they portrayed Jesus as this proper weakling, a puny nothing, and as we've seen, Satan as this huge hunk sex god, massive human being. It's like in Adam form, shall we say? And then he kind of rigs the boxing match, so which is hilarious. But you can see a lot of people not being happy about that type of things. But again, it's about pushing boundaries and stuff. Like I know, one of the first Christmas specials, you talk about having Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo.
Fucking song can get in the bin. I fucking hate that song. That and Salty Balls. I don't know with them because obviously their songs are amazing, but them two, with them being the early ones, it's like, oh, you really were doing that for commercial gain. That's you really were looking to hit an audience with that, and you fucking did it. It was a phenomenon. Didn't it get Christmas #1?
Oh, Mr. Hanky did get number one. Yeah, I think so. It did.
I'm sure of it.
Shit, if Mr. Blobby can, I guess Mr. Hanky can as well.
Mr. Hanky, the Christmas boo. He comes like you,
always brings up about. Mum always mentions about the fact that she bought her son that CD or that tape. It would have been a tape.
Do you remember this on the radio now? Actually, that's unlocked a memory for us.
Oh,
holy
shit!
But what was he saying? He said, "Howdy ho, everybody!
Get fucked." Fucking don't like him at all. Out of all the things South Park brought to us, that's the one I can't stand. Just fuck off back to the toilet.
Fuck off back to the toilet.
There is definitely some jokes in the show that fall flat for me, where I'm like, it's not funny, and they get notoriety. You guys did it earlier, the member berries.
Yeah.
Don't really find it that funny, but I'm like, people loved it, so they just kept being in episodes because I just like
quoting it.
Yeah. Remember this, remember that, and obviously that was a joke, but people really attached onto them, these things are funny, and they were like, right, put that in more episodes.
Well, maybe his sister do that. Maybe his sister say, remember this?
Remember Chewbacca? Remember the Millennium Falcon?
Remember.
Joe, you just need to stop being ignorant.
Where has this Adam been? I didn't realise he was an impressionist.
I'm very good at impressions. I'm just very shy sometimes. But I'm deliriously poorly, so it's all just seeping out now.
Seeping out the goodness. But yeah,
you'd love that, Paul, wouldn't you?
South Park with Paul.
On the topic of controversy, I'd like to talk about a group of people who have actually been pretty cool regarding their controversial episodes, and it's the Mormons.
Right, all right.
Well,
So
yeah,
I didn't. The Mormons have been ridiculed quite a lot. In the show. And also in other works by Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Very much so.
Not unlike Orgasmo.
That is one show that me and Anth, because my sister and her husband saw it a few years ago, need to see. Only because of Kevin Smith's version of Joseph Smith, don't fuck the baby. We just need to see that. So, we need to understand where Kevin Smith was coming from.
I'd love to see the Book of Mormon as well. So
have you not
if anybody
seen
in my if anybody in my family wants to think about my birthday,
I've been to see it twice at the Empire.
Oh, really?
It's amazing.
So jealous.
Oh, I know Sam, the lyrics are "Don't kill the baby," but it was Kevin Smith who changed it to "F the baby." Just want to clear that up there.
So yeah, the Mormons, when the Mormon episode came out, they did generally just go like, "Hey, you've really like taken the piss out of the origin story of our religion." But actually, they went, "But the way you've depicted modern day Mormons is really nice. Like the family that they have in the episode, who's telling Stan and Kyle's story, is like they're a nice family. They're good. They're positive. They're good role models. And they're like, we actually like what you've done with the modern family."
That is
and when
so
they
cool.
produced the musical, instead of like boycotting the musical and discrediting it, they took up ad space. They bought an ad space in the playbill. So if you bought a program at the Book of Mormon, it had an advert for becoming a Mormon in it.
Yeah.
And they were like, "We're not going to fight you on this. We're just going to lean into it and go, hey, you know what? Be a Mormon.
Let's work together."
All right.
Collaborations
with
kinda.
It's more like not like peaceful protest. It's just like we're not going anywhere, but also we're not going to fight you on it, because when you fight, I think when you fight these guys on something, when you go, you can't talk about that, you can't ridicule like that. They go harder, they double down, and very, very rarely have they backed down. I think the only case is the 200th episode, and that wasn't even them that backed down. It was the network.
Yeah.
Paramount. What was that one?
So the 200th and 201st two-parter special was Tom Cruise and the group of celebrities, all celebrities who've ever been wronged in the town of South Park, banding together to try and steal the censoring special power of the Prophet Muhammad.
Yes.
And following the first part, when it was very heavily implied that the Prophet Muhammad would be depicted in the cartoon, they got threats from Muslim organizations saying you can't depict our prophet, and a few extremist groups threatened. It was never officially threatened, but violence against their addresses were listed online, their offices were listed online. And Matt Stone and Trey Parker went, "We're going to do it anyway. We've written the episode, we've got we've got a message, we've got thing lined up." And the studio, when it was broadcast, the network censored it. They censored the whole lot. They actually started censoring the name in the episode. Kyle's speech at the end of "I've learned something today," which is like a staple of the entire show, the whole thing is censored. And I, at the time of watching that episode, thought, that's the joke. Like, this is the joke, that they've censored everything. And it's like a kind of meta commentary. No, it was actually the studio censoring everything themselves.
Crazy.
But they removed it after that. It didn't appear on DVD releases. It didn't appear on streaming services. It has been cleaned up from the world, and it's only people who exist to fight for like freedom of speech and shit that you have to go on dodgy websites to even watch that episode now.
Crazy. But it just shows you, though, like I said, as we said at the start, like, because these guys, like, they don't discriminate in a way where they say everyone's fair game and stuff like that. So I can understand the levels, but I know through what happened in Paris when, like I say, that like newspaper or magazine that did
Charlie Hebdo.
Yeah.
Got the reason they took it seriously, the network took it seriously, was that one of the people who'd issued a threat mentioned a Dutch journalist who'd been assassinated earlier, and they were like, "Oh, if these guys broadcast this episode, they're going to wind up like this guy."
Oh yeah.
And so it was like implied threat. They never said we're going to assassinate you like we did this guy. it was just. But actually, the guy who issued that post ended up getting arrested. He served jail time for it.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
No,
it's
some serious shit.
It is scary though, because
really
they do take it very serious as well. So that's always like, again, fair play to them to have the balls to say, "Fuck it, let's go for it." But again,
it wasn't their call. They didn't have the
no. Like, to try but to try and do it. But then the studio to take it, like, say, right, we need to actually take affirmative action and say, right, which is a shame. But that's the world we do live in at times.
Do you know the crazy part of it though? Mm-hmm. Like it's a joke in that episode. South Park had already depicted the Prophet Muhammad in an earlier episode.
Right, I did not know
really?
that.
They'd already done it.
They had. Yes, you're right.
Right, okay.
It had already been done, and like Stan says, we met Muhammad. Like, didn't we meet him at the Super Best Friends Hall of Justice or something?
Yeah, he was
and
like,
then flashes back, and he's censored, and he's like, "Wait, he wasn't censored before. What's going on?"
Oh no!
Wasn't he like a sort of like giant like hologram thing?
No, that's Moses.
That's Moses, right?
That is so fucking clever of them, though. That's the level of genius you're dealing with these two.
I absolutely love it. I love that scene as well. They're like, yeah, like Muhammad's been censored because you can't depict religious icons being negatively portrayed. And then Buddha's just on the other side of the table doing lines of coke. He's like, yeah.
Well, he is the god of excess, isn't he? But talking about favorite characters as well, because I know if anyone's been watching, like say our Instagram or like social medias, we did have a little special guest try and promote the Nerdy Up North podcast this week as well.
I've been away and I've not seen it.
Good for you, Sammy. It's abhorrent. It's a crime against nature, and I don't support Lee.
Has it got something to do with Lee?
Right, I'll show the video now, so that's fine. Let's see if it works.
Hi everyone.
Oh, what the actual fuck is that?
Towley. This Sunday at 8 p.m. Nerdy Up North is going to be talking about South Park.
What is wrong with
you? Paul, Fanny, Joe, and Adam.
I know you're in the
and
chat.
It's going to be very moist, so don't forget to bring a towel.
Hey, I'm glad I didn't watch that while I was away.
So yes, so leading into that special message from the special guest episode from South Park, Towley, what are the standout characters from the show? Like, that's not like the four main boys type thing.
Not the four main boys.
Yeah.
Right.
100% Butters for starters. I fucking love Butters. I'm gonna put it out here, and I'm gonna do it because it's not been done yet, and I don't know how this is gonna go down, but Timmy.
Come on. See,
similarly, I also love Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
See, I get flashbacks of Leeds Festival when I went, because for some reason that was the cry from the tents when you were trying to come out and sing. All the idiots, Timmy was screaming it on top of the lungs and stuff like that. But yeah, Timmy was a good character. What about you, Adam?
Ooh. I'm gonna say Officer Bob Brady.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes,
like, because he's just so shit, and like everyone just takes the piss out of him, and he's just like the village idiot, basically, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's just really funny to watch.
The episode where the guys fucking chickens to try and teach him the power of reading.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I know.
Only by fucking chickens could I teach Officer Bob Brady the magic of reading.
I'm trying to control myself.
But Officer Bob Brady, when he just walks on, he's going, "What's going on here?" Good. Okay, carry on.
Move along. Nothing to see here. Move along. So good.
Jimbo was always a good character early days. It's coming right at us, and start firing at it.
He's wobbly Ned as well.
Yeah,
I think it's
coming right for us.
With these little voice boxes.
I do like a bit of Randy as well, and I like how Randy gets used a bit more too. And I know some people feel like it might be too overused, but I like the fact that he's not just a in the background character anymore.
No,
it's not. starts out, he's just Stan's dad. He's just like a geologist, and now he's like running a weed farm with Towley.
Yeah,
he's really fucking changed.
It's just ectoplasm. It's ectoplasm.
It's like that one where, and again, it's horrible to talk about, but they take the piss out of cancer, and he's basically trying to give himself cancer so he gets benefits.
So he can get medicinal marijuana.
Yeah, and he's just the bouncing on the testicles, and like that vision will never leave my head of like Randy bouncing up the street on his giant testicles because he's basically damaged them that much that they've become like a beanbag balls, and it's just horrible.
That at the end of that episode where all the women are like really jealous of Sharon's scrotum coat. I was like, they're all like, I was like, do women like scrotum? They're like, no, Joe, no, they don't.
I'm gonna speak for all women here and say no, we don't.
Damn it!
No, we don't. Sorry, I'm
the
just
hardest place to add mass in the gym.
I'm just gonna have to open my door, otherwise my cats are gonna destroy the other side of my carpet.
Keep an eye, guys. You're gonna see if Sammy's wearing pants. Oh, she's got pants on tonight.
She's got pajamas. She's wearing matching pajama pants.
But any feet fetishes out there, you can see Sammy's feet. That's it.
Fucking hurt my legs. Sorry. Oh, do you get to see my full on jammies?
Yes, full on Hugh Hefner. We saw your feet as well, so that's got to get some views up. So I'll put that in the tags. Feet pictures free.
I've got a kitty cat who's missed us. So
honestly, I think I'm getting overloaded here. There's so much I want to talk about.
Then go for it, Joe. Go for it.
We're talking about favorite characters. Like I always liked, and not really like because she was a good character, but just like any scene she's in. Cartman's mom.
Yeah.
Cartman's mom just being like, she's like a crack whore, but she's like got a heart of gold. Yeah. And the episode when she hires Caesar Milan to like control Cartman.
Yeah.
And then like he does get controlled in the end. He's like goes to like shave her head in her sleep or something, and then he like coughs up like the vile black goo. And then he's like normal after that, and I was like, "What's going like?" And I was like, "I want to talk about Cartman's mom. I want to talk about that episode. I want to talk about Cartman being just so fucking evil."
But the thing is, though, with Cartman's mom as well, she's normally the voice of reason for a lot of different normality as well. As talked about the Mr. Garrison episode, like when he's like trying to get fired for being gay. And it's teaching the kids all these lessons. Like, well, it's better to learn these lessons in the classroom rather than out there on the streets. And it's kind of like she's so wholesome. And then she'll be talking about like putting a double dildo. She reminds us a lot of Donna. Donna would be Cartman's mom.
You calling Donna a crack whore?
Yes.
Or
all of the above.
I mean, I know I photoshopped her face onto Saddam Hussein earlier this week, but Jesus, Paul.
I'm going there. See if she's still in the chat.
Yours was much worse.
Words.
Words will hurt. Like, see, I've called Donna worse on this podcast. Let's be honest.
Yeah, she gets some stick, doesn't she, off you, Paul?
She takes some stick, bless her.
She's in the chat.
What a winner with words, Paul. Wordsmith.
That's fine. She loves it. Hopefully, everything is consensual. Just say.
Just saying, Donna does give as much as she can take, man. She's not just like this wounded victim. And I say she can fight back.
I've heard she can take a lot.
Goodwill's sticking in now as well. Thank you, Goodwill, for saving us there. But yes, trying to think of other characters like Mr. Garrison probably has some of the most.
He's got some depth, hasn't he?
Yeah, from character development there.
Because he's a character who's had 2 sex changes, been through like I guess he came out at some point, right? I mean, he was always kind of like queer coded.
Yeah.
But he became very openly gay, and then became a woman, and then is now back to being a man, and then became the president. In that order.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. There was no holding back with Mr. Garrison as well, though. It was like everything that was there was flying the wall, from his little puppet to like Mr. Hat. Then like then when that joke kind of weird a bit thin, they realised and they moved on and they did different things. Mr. Mackey as well. I used to always laugh at Mr. Mackey. Okay, like say the council.
Oh, that's the one with the okay.
Drugs bad. Okay.
Oh, he does a really good song on the film as well.
It's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of saying crack, say boobs, but instead of tits and boobs. Oh, even the principal.
Oh, I've got the song in my head now.
Bull poo poo, what the poo is cool.
It's easy, okay.
But as you go on, you get different characters. That's quite cool. Like, what was the principal that looked like a version of like Van Damme or something like that? But he was like a secret agent. I can't remember now.
PC principal.
PC principal. That was the one. He was quite an interesting take when they changed it from like the normal nice principal to the craziness that did issue her.
Yeah,
was it like Principal Victoria or something?
Principal Victoria was the other one.
She was really like she didn't really do much. Although, sorry, I was going to say in contrast, the mayor was like, my mind just pivoted to like South Park depicted both the principal and the mayor of this town as women. I don't think that gets enough credit. The era that it came out in at the start of the 90s to be like the boss of the town is a woman.
This is it. Like the whole thing is just, this is how it should be. This is normality. Like, it's almost like a fucked up version of Schitt's Creek. Like, this is just normal life. Like, we shouldn't have all the shit that goes with it. And if we do, we're going to take the fucking piss out of it.
Yes. One of the episodes, and I know, like when I mentioned before, like Adam said, it was one of his favorite ones. Like, can you remember the Imagination Land?
Yeah,
like
that
vaguely
3 episodes. Like, it's absolutely brilliantly done, but it's so fucked up as well.
Yeah,
it's basically the premise is Cartman bets Kyle that leprechauns are real, and the bet is if he can prove that leprechauns are real, Kyle's got to suck Cartman's balls. And then in the first episode, a leprechaun appears, but then basically there's this magical world called Imagination Land where everyone gets the imagination from, that terrorists are looking to bomb and unleash the nightmare world where like all the horror characters live and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like got the Predator and the Xenomorph and stuff like that.
Like it's Jason's great in there, and then it's got the happy tree character, happy furry friends. Which turn into the most fucked
up... The Critter Christmas.
Critter Christmas, yes. And one of the best lines, and again, it's so fucked up as well, because to get through, they do like a piss take on Stargate. So they get Kurt Russell in.
Send Kurt Russell in.
He's like, I don't know what's happening. He's like, look, you played an actor that starred in a movie that's based loosely on the science, so you're the most qualified person to lead the expedition. He's like, okay, that makes sense. And he goes through and it's just on the radio and he's going, oh, it's okay. It's these cute little creatures. And it's like, their eyes are shining red. And all you hear is Kurt Russell screaming, going, it's, oh my God, they're raping me. They're raping my face. They're raping me in my face. And it's just like blood curdling noises that you hear. And it's just like, like, you're like, I'm laughing at this, but this is so wrong. And
but isn't it because you're like in your own little space and nobody else can see you laughing, and that's fine. You're okay. You're not a bad person. You're just in your room being a good person. Lee didn't actually catch Towley. He wasn't there.
Oh,
so I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it so you can see it now. What is wrong with you?
Fuck's sake, Lee.
Fuck's sake, Lee. Have a word with yourself.
Too much.
Ruining Bex's towels. Poor Bex. He cut a hole in her towel. Look at Sammy's face. He's just offended now that he ruined a towel.
I really am, actually. That poor woman puts up with far too much from him. Yes, Lee. My pajamas do look fancy. Thank you.
Right. Where do you see South Park ending? Like, how would you say this is going to end as a show?
I would say they would have to blow the whole thing up. Yeah. But I don't even think that would... I don't know.
It's impossible to say. I'd say so, because they're just so crazy and out there and can just bring whatever they want out at any point in time. It's hard to say what would be the final straw for them.
Yeah.
You know?
I think as long as our generation here, they would still be here, because I think we're their core audience. I don't feel, like I said to you earlier, I don't feel like now would stick around for it.
Yeah,
we would though.
It's because it always makes us wonder. Because I know when you talk to Matt Groening, and when sorry to go back to The Simpsons, because to be honest, The Simpsons was the starting point for any like adult cartoons that kind of came from,
and long running as well.
Matt Groening has always said he knows how The Simpsons is going to end. It's basically going to be like a loop where the last scene goes into the first scene of the first episode of The Simpsons, so then it'll just be a constant loop going through. I don't know why, like that's his idea how he wants The Simpsons to end.
I'll be honest, Matt, that's a shit idea.
Yeah,
think of another ending.
Because ideally, with any episode, like I have done with Always Sunny, as soon as it's finished, I come back to the beginning and start again.
Yeah,
I can do that. I don't need a series to loop it into the first one and go, look at what you did there, when I can just go episode 1, series 1.
Yeah.
But with South Park, as you said, because it stays on topics, it stays on what's in the news or what's going on in the world or going on basically in America. As you said, there's no off limits or nothing where they would say, oh, we can't touch that or we can't go there and do that. I don't think, again, as long as they're prepared to keep making it, this could be one of those shows. It could be like the American EastEnders or the American Coronation Street in a way.
It could be.
It's just like
do you know
50
what?
years ongoing, like sort of thing.
I've just thought in my head, as long as the world keeps going the way it is, and stupidity that comes out of it, this show will forever be there to counter it, to mock it, to bring lightheartedness to such serious things that are going on, because they have essentially done that in the past. So as long as that keeps happening, this show will probably keep happening. I think massive breaks in between, then a world event happens, they're there to bring the lightheartedness, to remind you it's all right to laugh, you know. You can have a laugh.
And it even takes the piss out of goths as well, and Sammy wasn't offended at that.
Not at all. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the red hair is now gone. I am back to black.
So we'll have black hair on tomorrow's Monsters episode by any chance?
No. Didn't think this one through. I still have red hair on that one. So
continuity,
time travel, man. I've done it a few times today. I watched my watch change from 11 to 10.
But I'll be amiss if I didn't mention this as well. One of my favourite things in the show is when they take the piss out of Barbara Streisand. That is mega strong.
And that is season 1, so that from the very get-go they've been like, we're here to have silly things like Cartman gets an anal probe, but we're also here to take the piss out of celebrities.
Yes.
Everyone's fair game. The dead have been fair game. Michael Jackson was fair game when he died, and Farrah Fawcett, because, oh my God, bless her heart, she dies on the same day as Michael Jackson, and nobody gave a shit. Like, poor woman. So they go, Steve Irwin. They go,
oh God, fucking hell, that was so over.
Don't do my clock on me.
That was like three weeks after he died. He was depicted in hell, I think. They did get a letter from his wife who just said, like, look, it's a bit soon. My kids might see this, or they will see this eventually. Like, that's come on.
I'm just saying, Donna's back in the chat. Don't watch back, Donna. I didn't say anything nasty about you. You can't watch this, Donna.
Donna's just start from here. But yeah, yes, it probably was a bit too soon, but at least it's like, I don't know. They could have left it a bit longer. He was a national treasure.
It was. And they'd already had him in an episode where he was like jamming his thumb up everyone's butthole.
I'm going to stick my thumb in his butthole now.
Another bit clipped right there. Whoever is going to be doing the clipping, just be looking at Adam the whole episode.
Oh, look how proud he is as well, bless him.
I just don't feel like we're getting a Joe rant tonight. I don't feel like that's where Joe is.
Well, okay, I can go on. Well, sorry, I've learned so much information over the past few days. I've got no rant.
But I'm sure was anything to do with South Park ever affected by the movie Titanic?
No. I was going to say, since we're being controversial this episode, my metric for things that happened in 1997 is obviously when did Princess Diana die? And actually,
up there with the angles, just saying.
Up there with the
South
angels.
Park predates it, so there is a good chance, if you think about it, that Princess Diana watched the episode Cartman Gets an Anal Probe.
So it's before
Imagine.
PD.
It was the same month.
Right.
August 1997, Princess Diana died on the 31st. South Park broadcasted, I think it was the 8th of August. So she would have seen the first 3 episodes.
Right.
If she was so inclined.
Fun fact about that day, actually, that was the day before my 10th birthday.
Right.
And everyone was so sad because the princess of the world had died. It actually ruined my birthday.
God damn it.
Thanks, everyone. That's why I'm the joy that I am today.
God. So Princess Diana ruined birthdays for Adam now. So
She ruined kids' TV for me. I woke up before school. I'm going to go trundle downstairs to watch some cartoons. And my mum was like, Princess Diana's died. And I was like, who? What?
I do remember.
I do remember watch on right now.
Going on all the channels and every single one of them, like, go visit BBC for important news, and it's like our whole life was like changed. Like that was that one of the biggest moments in our time.
Definitely in 1987. Yeah,
there's been a few big, like UK wise, the death of Princess Diana was up there. Like as we said, 9/11 probably has changed things in the world. But
probably changed things in the world. That's an understatement. If ever there was
probably,
one.
maybe could have.
Well, I got a day off school for it because we went into school on the day of 9/11 and they sent us all home because everyone was really sad.
I fucking hate you, Adam, for so many reasons right now.
Sad.
It was my second day at my first full-time job.
Right.
Oh.
My second day, and our office, because we worked across the UK and our London office got closed, we got closed. Sam, I wasn't around for JFK. So
yeah, that one's a bit too
old, but I'm not that old.
To be fair, though, we have got the assassin in the chat. Donna has picked off and killed off a lot of these celebrities as well.
True.
She
is responsible for Swayze.
Yeah, I'm sure she had something to do with the Queen Mother. She's named actually she named Charlie, and he's come down with cancer. So just saying,
Donna, man,
Jesus.
Stop.
Donna, you're killing the royal family. God damn it! But yes.
Well, that was a journey I didn't think we were going to go on to. Like,
well,
anything's
just
possible in this episode.
I'm sure Diana said that when she got to hell.
Oh
man, he's on fire tonight, man.
Would you like me? Would you like? I'm not. No, this is my last. I'm going to be banned after this. Would you like to hear some trivia?
Let's
absolutely.
Oh, come on then.
Right. The original title for the South Park movie was All Hell Breaks Loose.
Right.
What?
And they were genuinely happy to go with that. It was the original title. And the I think it was the MPAA, the Motion Movie Picture Association.
Yeah.
Said no, we can't have titles that have the word hell in it. It's not allowed. Just they were like, oh right, okay. Well, it's an uncensored movie, so bigger, longer, uncut. Obviously, it's a dick joke. And that got past the censors. They didn't realize until it was too late. And it was like, you could have had a really innocuous title. And you you ended up with a dick joke instead. So, joke's on you.
And I know that we didn't, just before you move on with your trivia, I know that we didn't get to do taglines today because we're not doing a movie, but I do have the taglines for the South Park movie.
Go for it.
So, warning, this movie will warp your fragile little minds.
Yeah.
The critically acclaimed full-length feature film, on June 30th. The invasion begins on June 30th. Beware. Joining South Park in a musical comedy of epic proportions. It's a bit of a fucking understatement.
Oh, no.
Finally, a date movie everyone can agree on.
That's a weird
Invading
angle.
your theaters this summer. The critically acclaimed these are terrible.
Yeah.
All hell is breaking loose. All hell breaks loose. Uh-oh. Uh-oh is one of them.
Yeah.
All the Baldwins are dead.
Oh God.
Uh-oh. It's just another day in the park. Uh-oh. The critics love it.
Can we talk about as well, like how South Park kind of portrayed the look and the actions of Canadians in this movie as well is absolutely they kind of labeled them the floppy head freaks.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
I'm not your guy, buddy.
What are you talking about?
I love in the game when you go to Canada, the whole structure of the game changes and it goes back to pixel, like kind of Minecrafty old 70s, 80s like aesthetic, and I love that aspect of it.
Like the whole Terrace and Philip thing is just hilarious. And then
I just love that they just depict the Canadians as these flappy-headed thing. The episode where they have like a royal wedding in Canada as well, and like their wedding ceremony is all ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, and now it steps on the pudding, as is tradition.
As is tradition. Canada has apologized for Brian Adams on multiple occasions.
Wait, let me finish.
Yes, let me finish.
All right, I'm finished.
No, I'm finished. No, I'm finished.
You're
racist, man. You're racist.
We want more money.
And they're just farting everyone as well. So again.
Yeah. The episodes, this is the horrible. I'm going to just say the word queef now. The episode where they bring in the women who queef on Terrence and Philip, and it's like so controversial.
Yeah,
because they're like, shit.
Oh my god. Sure. What's your trivia?
We're talking about queefing. We're talking about queefing. Damn it!
There are some rules you have for rating systems in America, and as there are in England. You know, you can't say the F word too many. Sorry, why am I saying the F word? You can't say fuck
too many times.
Too many times before you go over a certain rating
threshold. Yeah.
Paramount had contracted these guys when they'd greenlit the film that they had to keep it in a rating. Oh god, I don't know what the American rating was for it, but it had to be like
an R rating. I think it would have been like an R rating.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you go up to the next level if you have 400 swears in a movie.
Right, because I think it's PG-13, R rated, and X. I think it's X rated. It's classed as in America.
I think X is a different category. But
that's where the X rated started. Of course, for like wasn't just porn. It was, it was like,
you had to have something that was like this can't even go into theaters.
Yes,
kind of level. So, would anybody like to hazard a guess how many swears there are in the movie?
One less than
99. I bet.
You'd be correct.
There's not.
They went right up to that limit and were like 399 swears. And I think
that just shows fantastic. You how clever they are again. Like, once again, they're just like, we're going to fuck the system just like that little bit.
Like, how many people would just go, oh shit, like, well, we can't do it. Everything's all ruined now. They know we're just going to do 399 swears. We're going to go right to the actual max. That's fucking mint, that.
NC-17.
That was the one, yeah.
Thanks, Hobie. Yeah. I appreciate you.
Hobie dialed into the internet. He did with his like with him being a robot. But yes,
just keep
beep boop beep boop beep boop. Getting but talking about robots as well.
Sorry,
when Cartman dressed as what was he called? The robot
Awesome.
Yeah. But
I love that episode. It feels so sorry for Butters the whole time.
Yeah, every episode you always have to feel sorry for Butters, but I've just thought of the controversial episode because of mention of Cartman, the Special Olympics episode.
Yes. I love it how Adam's eyes light up in excitement.
Adam's come alive.
No, it's just like, I remember being like in hysterics at that episode, but then going like, I feel really bad for laughing.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember what season it's from, but I was just like,
well, I don't know. But it's an episode where Jimmy and Timmy are both competing as well. And they're like taking it really seriously.
Yeah. And
Cartman, you get those. Sorry, yeah.
Cartman still gets beat by everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a really awful movie with Johnny Knoxville where he does the same thing.
Yeah,
is it The Ringer or something?
The Ringer.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, the less we talk about that, the better. Let's not bring any more attention to it.
No,
somewhere in the world, someone just mentioned The Ringer.
Yeah.
A light is like flashing in an office somewhere. Like, oh god, someone remembers this movie exists.
I remember that when like Cartman decided to go to war against gingers as well.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh yeah.
like literally everyone was fair game and everyone was attacked. But it's just an amazing legacy, I think, as well. Like what could have been left behind or could have been missed from the 90s. But I'm glad, like as I said, people got this humor or got what like the joke was about, because a lot of these shows type thing probably couldn't have lasted. Because let's be honest, the animation wasn't great. No. It was all about the jokes.
It's basic as fuck. But
yeah.
It works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it serves the purpose. It definitely does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any more trivia, Joe? I don't want to like waste all of your research that you've done.
No, okay. So I was going to talk about like the people. Obviously, they've done so much controversy. The way that people play into it. It's like the Mormons played into it, but actually really did it quite classy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Catholic Church really screwed themselves over because
as they always do.
The episode where Randy is an alcoholic until he gets bled on by the Virgin Mary, with the blood coming out, the statue of the Virgin Mary, there's blood coming out of her ass. The Catholic Church.
Trying not to show me ugly laugh this week.
The Catholic Church campaigned against the episode and said it's sacrilegious, it's awful. You can't depict our the Mother of Christ like this. And it kicked up such a fuss that they brought it forward 3 weeks in the schedule so that they could make sure that everyone could watch it while it was the hot topic.
Yeah.
So the controversy drove the popularity, and I think that's a big crux of South Park's success. Is that the more the controversy whips up, and it's the Alice Cooper effect. It's like he couldn't get a break until someone said this guy's awful. He's he's Mr. Evil.
Yeah.
And then it gets success based off that. And South Park was popular because it was controversial, but also because it was really accessible to children as an animation.
I can remember as well, because you mentioned the Catholic Church one, because there was hell on about when the local vicar goes, or the priest, finds out about the church and all the church coming out that they were molesting young boys. And the church is like not concerned about priests and everything molesting young boys. It's like, how do we stop ourselves from being found out, or how do we stop the boys from talking type thing? And he even goes to the Vatican to try and protest, and the Vatican's like, oh, thank you for bringing it to our attention that our secrets are getting out. I was like, wait there, that's not the message. That's not the message we should be giving out here. And they're like, what do you mean? He said, how can we try not touching small boys? Well, we've never thought about that. It's like it's always been a case. It's like, wow, they went there with that as.
That's them all over. They just go there. They're not scared. Clearly, by the whole Muhammad thing, fucking hell, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's an erased episode, which I find so fascinating.
Just another episode that's jumped in my head as well, because it is really, really controversial, but probably not for us, but for Americans as well, where, and I didn't know about it until I watched it quite recently, it's when they flipped the whole, the Native Americans taking back the town, like through the casino, and then they've played out like the town folk of South Park are being like manipulated by the Native Americans through gambling and casinos, and that how they say no, we're not going to give you, because they want to like basically take over the town and make a highway, and they're like no, we're going to protest, we're going to stay, we're going to start, and like they're going, okay, we'll give you blankets full of SARS, like almost like a play on where like the Native Americans were given blankets with smallpox by the American settlers back then. So it was kind of a play on like the Native Americans doing it to the like to the South Parkans. I was like, fucking hell, they did that. But it was a funny episode, I'll begin to think, but it probably hits home more for like more the American audience than like the UK audience for that side of things there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I am out of trivia, by the way. I still only have that one conspiracy to talk about, but I think it's a little too edgy.
Right. No, come on, bring it.
There is, and I really don't want to get into it, because if there's any rule, you don't piss off the Scientologists. Actually, South Park was the first ones to piss off the Scientologists, and as a result, figured out they're not so tough. But yeah, there's a lot of information. There's a great YouTube channel that I watched today, a guy called Blooms, who has some great videos on South Park, so I'd recommend, I'm just going to shout that out for free. And he has an episode about the time that South Park pissed off the Scientologists. And there's some heavy conjecture at the end. There's no proof, but Isaac Hayes' son has come out and said that at the time that Isaac Hayes quit the show, he may have not been in the best state of mind because of medical problems.
Yep.
And that he's not entirely convinced that his dad signed the letter of resignation. Sorry, signed it, but not necessarily wrote it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And that maybe an organization that he was a part of, not naming names, forced him into it, coerced him into it.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds, especially from what we know, from what we know the bad side of it. That sounds like something that they would do.
Yeah,
I hate them, to be honest. I would go up to the place and go like this and say like.
Do you know what? The one thing that's going to help bring down Scientology.
Is Paul.
Is this podcast? We can do it. We can bring the tide of power of the nerdisms to destroy.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. But it literally is just a tax bill.
Yeah.
Because the minute they get a tax bill, they're fucked.
To be fair though, I think I'll take full responsibility of any shit that happens here. This should Scientology should be the nerdiest religion out there when you think about it. It's a religion based on aliens that's going to come and take you to the promised land, because they are batshit crazy.
I don't think they believe in the Xenos thing anymore. I think it's evolved from that, but.
Is that if you pay an extra £1,000, you get past that belief?
They are.
Well, L. Ron Hubbard is a science fiction writer.
Yes.
He's a really bad one at that. But he was a science fiction writer. Yeah. If anyone is actually interested in the Church of Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard, I highly recommend listening to last podcast on the Left's 5-6 episode journey on it. It is a fucking eye opener when it comes to Scientology.
Yeah, and I always laugh as well because we do try and keep like religion and stuff out of like Nerdy Up North, but they're not a fucking religion. Fuck you guys.
No, it's a fucking scam. It's a scam designed to brainwash you into this shit to the point where you've paid too much money to think I can't back out of this now. Yeah, he's an absolute hack, and I hope the Princess Diana's kicking the shit out of him in hell.
Yes.
You're worried about controversy over Scientology, and you have deemed Princess Diana, the princess of people's hearts, in hell.
She's been dead for a long time, Sally.
See, it's funny because
how things in PD now. Thank you.
on my own episodes, I drop what's called the atom bomb now. I think it's Joe's turn on this because I use it on my own episodes, not on here. So Joe's having the Joe bomb moment.
Joe bomb.
He's done a fair few, Adam. To be fair, over the last couple of episodes, he's been on fucking fire.
Sonia, why is Diana in it? She knows what she did.
So just to play us out. Goodbye, England's rose. May you ever grow in our hearts. You are the grace that placed itself where lives were torn apart.
You know the words to that song.
I've got the lyrics up, sorry.
See, you could have played a cool there, Paul.
Yeah, of course I fucking do.
To quote the great Dean Lerner, she was like a candle in the wind, unreliable.
I think on that note, we'll end this week's podcast.
Yes, and the note on the bombshell that Princess Diana fucked over Adam's birthday.
Yes.
Well, there you go. She knows what she did.
Yes.
She knows what she did.
Yes. So,
although if she hadn't died, she wouldn't have ruined his birthday. So that's kind of a circular reference. It's who gives a shit?
I'm too tired for the Fuck them.
No one spoils Adam's birthday.
Watch. I'm just gonna
look at his face.
Before we wrap up, can we just mention the Scott Tenorman episode where he feeds his parents to his enemy in Chile?
You know what? No, actually, I'm not going to let it in because we haven't mentioned Man Bear Pig.
Man Bear Pig.
We haven't mentioned Chef's parents. I think
No.
Hope you put it in the chat. Chef's parents.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Loch Ness Monster all the time.
Free Fitty!
You need about 3 Fitty!
Free Fitty!
Do you not think that South Park could like literally get a second episode out of us? We could do the movie.
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't mind doing the movie. I would like to do the movie. I think that would be a good one.
Well, I generally thought that's what we were doing today. So I'm just put that out there. It wasn't until I read the title card and I went, "Oh, we're talking stuff. Oh, damn it!" So
Free Fitty.
26 seasons, a movie, and a handful of specials. Yeah. And I think, going back to the question Paul asked earlier, what they do in the future. They're starting to wind down. The seasons are getting shorter. They're only getting 6 episodes a season now. And the last one was in Feb 2023. Yeah. So we're overdue. I think they're winding down, if I'm honest. And one of the last specials they did was set in the future of like where all the characters kind of wound up. And it was in jest mostly.
Yeah.
But I think they're in that mindset now. They're like, yeah, we're kind of done here. We're kind of...
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe they could just fade out. Yeah. They don't have to end it. It's not end it. There's no full stop. It's just let's fade out, and if something really fucking deserving comes along, then we can come back.
But that's like the Ricky Gervais type of approach when it comes to making TV shows. He'd rather go out where everyone's still clamoring for more, where everyone kind of doesn't notice that it's kind of disappeared, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He won't do a series that's over 3 episodes. He won't do a show that is over 3 series. It has to be 3 series and that's it. Because then anything more than that, he feels like they're flogging a dead horse. So, I could do a whole thing on Ricky Gervais. Fucking love the man.
Yeah.
But that's for another episode.
That's for another day. So what's happening? So what's happening tomorrow, Sammy? In your sexy pajamas there.
Thank you. Tomorrow's episode of Monsters, we are going back to the King universe. I had to think there for a second. It's been a fucking time. I recorded it like Tuesday. We're going back to the King universe when we're going back to what started it all, really, which was Carrie.
So everyone has to get the pig blood out and start pouring it on the people that they hate.
I please urge you to come and join the premiere at 8:00 tomorrow to see the brilliant design work that Paul has done for this episode. It is absolutely fucking fantastic. We are covering Book and just the 2 movies, the 76 and the 2013 one, and it is for an interesting conversation. I highly recommend you come and watch it.
Yes.
What is next? Oh God, actually, what the fuck is going on this week? What is happening?
So we've got a busy week. I'm not going to lie. So yous are going to be fucking sick of us. So as I said at the start, Tuesday, we were just going to record the episode, but we're just going to probably put it out live. We are going to be talking about the fantastic, the brilliant X-Men 97. I know you've had glimpses or like chats where we've talked about this show throughout the episodes in the last couple of weeks. This season, it's been one of those seasons where we could not do something about because
there's been a handful out there where we've had to, like Sandman, for example.
Yeah.
The minute that I had to come on and talk about it.
Yeah.
This is one of those episodes. Yeah. So you're getting little tidbits. You're going to get the whole fucking shebang.
Yeah. So I think Tuesday we are joined by Jake, Lee, and Jessica. So we are going to have a full house.
Full cast.
Devastated I can't be there, but I'm sure you've all had enough of it.
Joe, I'd have you on all the time.
No, I've loved X-Men so much, and I'm so glad you're going to have a whole episode on it because this whole season's been so good.
Yeah.
But not going to ruin it. Not going to say that.
Adam will be twitching on Wednesday.
Yes, I'll be doing some more of Alan Wake 2 with Jake coming on as well.
That was funny, the last one.
So...
Is that why you berated Joe for not being positive and told him to get out and come back in?
Just come off the chat and come back in and until you start being nice to yourself, right? So
that's right.
That was great.
And I need that kind of energy in my life, Adam. I'm grateful for you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And hopefully hear more lore of the pork chimp. We need Adam to write the history, what's going to happen, how the franchise is going to be moving forward. Pork chimp lives.
More, mate.
Pork chimp lives.
I've got. There's lots of stuff up here. It's going to be coming out some more on Wednesday. So
very much.
Looking forward to it.
We have the crazy, the beautiful, the sexy Graham and the lovely frosted tip wonder that is Goodwill. That'll be back on Friday. They'll be doing another episode of Trek. We then have a very interesting one on Sunday, which I am very excited for. So hopefully you're not too
Remind me.
hungover from Graham's 40th. Yes, I did say 40th birthday on Saturday night.
He joins us in the 40 club.
Yes, so
come join us. It's fucking depressing.
but on the Sunday we are doing a very, very good film.
Can you remind?
We are going back to the 80s. I think the 80s.
Yeah.
It was the 80s. We have a few people on, I believe, depending on how hungover Graham is.
Oh my God, why have you done this week?
We are doing Return to Oz.
Oh.
So we'll be talking about Wheeler's TikTok.
That's fine.
We'll be doing like the little girl out of what's it called? But she was out the Craft.
She's from the Craft.
Yes, Nancy from the Craft. But yes, I am very much looking forward to Return to Oz. This is probably the closest I'll ever get Sammy to get excited for an Oz movie.
He's absolutely fucking right. There's no trading. You know how I trade is one movie for never-ending story. I'll never fucking trade anything for the Wizard of Oz.
But I think Return to Oz is one of the scariest kids movies that's ever been made. It's up there with The Witches. It's up there with Watership Down. This shit will fuck you up. But yes, and there will be no munchkins having orgies in this one, put it that way.
But as always, everyone, please remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for any, to be notified basically of any episodes that's coming out, because it'll cover everything. And audio for this episode and all episodes associated with Nerdy Up North will be out on Tuesday, because I do them.
And just to say as well, because I know Sammy said we want to do this every week, so I am. So Lee's got a little message for you as well. If you haven't clicked that like button, this is coming in your feed.
Why do we need to push that thumbs up button anyway?
You'll not hear it, unfortunately.
That's all right.
Travis, put your hand on that wall. You will hit that like button, or I will disable your hand.
I love that Lemmy Winks is still going across the bottom.
We've got the Rats in the Federal Reserve propaganda stream.
I just want to point out before we go as well, Lee, I have seen everything you've been saying in the chat.
You have to do creases with that pad, mate.
We are going to have words.
So yes, same bat time, same bat channel.
Stay nerdy, everyone.
Bye.
Fuck the Tories.